Good evening slash morning, depending on where you're at right now in the world. Um, and wherever you are hearing this from. So, again, my name is Marcus. I am here today just to talk about testimonies briefly, nothing too long. Um, People a lot of times ask, what's a testimony? How do I know if I have a testimony or not? Realistically, your life itself can be a testimony depending on where you came from and what your life was about. If you're one of the people who who wind up turning their life over to God because you learned about God and you learned about the truth or you learned about the oneness, whatever it is that brought you into church. Somebody had talked to you before about church. So a lot of people come in through gang lives. They've been dealing with problems for drugs, alcohol, sexual abuse, mental abuse, rape, molestation, and then they went to even the fact of being bullied, harassed a lot or whatever, and then they turned around and stopped stopped playing victim and became the victimizer pretty much. And their life was going down in so many ways. Some people wind up in jail and then they turn their life around in jail. They get on fire for God. They're like, I love Jesus. I can't wait. He's doing so much for me right now. When I get out, I promise I won't do what I did before. And then when they get out, they lose their fire. But today I want to open more so with a personal testimony that I have in my life. Pretty much with my life, I'm my own walking testimony. A lot of people over here too are also walking testimonies. So bear with this. Yeah, just almost 8 years ago. So it'll be 8 years in May. So let's go 7 years ago. 8 years ago. We'll go 2007. Yeah, that's the best year because that is the year. Sorry. So May 20th, 2007 at 10:20 p.m. 20 minutes before that, I was at my best female friend's house. We were attached to the hip from the moment that I got home from basic training and AIT for the Army. We'd hang out every single day no matter what, and whenever we left each other, we'd always tell each other, we love you, see you again, give a kiss, and then go on our way. And that night, one of my friends was calling me, and he was saying, my other friend Jeff, who only seen me like once since being home once to really hang out. So I was like, okay, we'll go hang out. So they came and picked me up, and when I heard the cars come up, I just got out and I left. Didn't say goodbye or anything. I just said, all right, I'm gone. Closed the door and left. We did this random detour, and ironically about it, we wound up next to a hospital, right? And the streets were pretty much empty. One car came out, and I was like, this car goes, this is going to be very interesting. And keep in mind, I forgot to tell you that one friend had a GTO, brand new GTO, and the other one had a Subaru WRX twin turbo. As you know, both very, very fast cars. So I'm in the car with a GTO. My friend has a GTO. And I'm texting some girl just because, just texting a girl. And I looked around and I was like, hey, he said his car is faster than yours. The other friend said his car is faster. And he said his car, just going back and forth, joking around. And then I was like, you know what, forget it. On green, we're going to go on green. And normally when we do that, we'll just get up and we'll coast to 45, 50 till we get to either the next red light or to the destination on which we are actually trying to get to. But for some reason that night, my friend just went pedal to the metal. And I could see my other friend out of the right side of my eye trying to, pop to get his clutch in. So we're taking off. Like, we're gone. Like, we burnt him off the line. And the only reason I knew we took off was because I was sitting there like this, and then all of a sudden I just went back like that. And I was like, whatever. Still going back to texting. And then we're coming up the street, and obviously we're doing bad because the street speed limit is already 45. So we're coming around this bend. This maybe like 45-degree angle turn, and we're coming and coming and coming. So instead of going up to come through, or maybe taking up 2 lanes to make it through, we came down into the turn, which is something that you really, really should not do, like at all. And I thought we nudged the center median device with all the plants and lights, but I don't know what happened. All I know, it was a hard pause, and we just started really shaking. The car started really shaking very, very, very bad. And then it was a hard pause in, and then a hard pause out. Another hard pause in, and another hard pause out. While the front end was fishtailing, or the front end was going forward, the back end was still fishtailing. And then I hold on to the door handle, I look over, and he looks at me, and it's like that, oh, this is about to end badly kind of look. And then turn my head back, and then next thing you know, it was boom. It was a red curb, and then went black. My friend behind us, the one that was behind us, he wound up seeing the whole accident from the backside. So after he saw this accident, he obviously pulled over to go see if we were okay. When he got up there, he obviously knew that neither one of us was breathing or moving. So when he called the responders, it took them 20 to 30 minutes to actually get there. And when the time they got there, a lot happened in that moment. It's the only thing I remember seeing after we stopped was there was darkness all around me, and I'm just floating up, but I don't care what's going on at this time. And I see this grayish, dimmish fog right there in front of me, and as I'm looking at this fog, I feel so peaceful. So I'm just going toward this light. I'm like, I don't care. This feels so good. No cares in the world. And then out of nowhere, I hear this James Earl Jones, Michael Clark Duncan type of voice, but like 10 times that, pretty much. So like a voice of 1,000 men. And all it told me at that moment was, it's not your time here or war. And then I came back too, like the lights came back and everything. And my friend came back to the car. He said all he saw was me push my other friend off top of me, and I sat back up in the car. And then he went back to go get help. And then he told me, all people says, all you hear is his door open, and you hear ruffling in the bushes, and you see me walking out of this smoldering wreckage, like literally smoldering wreckage. And they said I turned away from the car, and I came back, and I got stopped by a white blur, but it was a male's voice, and he got me to sit down. And that's when everything came together, like chaos and sirens and everything. And then I got back up after that, and I got stopped by a black blur woman's voice, got me to sit down again. And by the time I tried to get over again, all I remember was I was getting ambushed by like 6 EMT personnel saying, "Don't freaking move, you were just in an accident." They strapped me down to the board and lowered me down to the ambulance. And then right before I went black, all I heard was, "Oh my God, there's brains and blood all over the place." And then I looked down at the shirt that I was wearing, and there was brains and like brain matter and blood like all over me. And I just looked up, and it went dark. I came back too, and I seen the lights, and I was like mad because I was like, man, they played me. I died. What the heck? I died again. I was really mad. I was livid at that time. So, but it was like movies. Like 1 minute, I'm awake, like there's light, somebody's there. Another minute, somebody's gone, and then it's dark again and light again. It's crazy. And then I finally get to come to, and my friend is my roommate at the time. He's looking at me like bloodshot red eyes. And the first thing I said to him was, "Hey, where's Jeff?" And he said, with his head down, he's like, "What, nobody told you?" And I was like, "Told me what?" And he's like, well, Jeff didn't make it. And all of a sudden, my body just sank back in. And it went black all over. I came back to my uncle staring at me, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" We're at the accident scene, not realizing I'm actually in my hospital room. A week later, I went and visited. Thank you, Neji. I'll get back to you. Um, a week later, I wound up burying one of my best friends. This dude was probably the most genuine person that I ever knew. That if you really needed a shirt, he will take his shirt off the back. He was a bigger guy than I was, but he'll take it off and give it to you. He was just like a little brother to me. We're 2 years apart. He was just about to turn 21 when this happened, and the injuries that happened to me were very minor. Like I broke my front right tooth in half. I broke another tooth. Had some damage here. I had a gash that went from the left side to the right. A bunch of stuff, cuts through here, bruised from the seatbelt from here down, and ribs messed up, etc., etc., and a really, really bad concussion. Um, him himself, he lost all the meat on his left side of his arm. Just from the impact, the left side of his teeth went to dust. When we landed, we went through 2 trees. The first tree we completely hit. We hit it, uprooted. Slingshot us 30 feet the opposite way, landing slide up into a hill where another tree landed on top of us, and the car kind of like this. And that hit him in the back of the head, snapping his brainstem. And he only died because of the internal bleeding that he had. Like his lungs collapsed, etc., etc., etc. It was very horrible. And about a year after that, I finally got help, and then I went back to my very first church, my childhood church, and I made a prayer to God about how I used to pray and what I could do to make up. And then with my now ex, went to church with her. And when I tell them the story, they're like, "How bad was it? Like, how fast were you guys going?" They said we crashed between 88 and 94 miles per hour, and yet they don't know why I'm alive and why I'm alive and not paralyzed. Because most people die between 35 and 45 miles per hour in car crashes. It's very weird, right? So going back, and I went to church with her, and I felt very good, very great there. And it was only 3 services that I wound up going to, maybe 4. But it was after that I wound up getting myself rebaptized in the name of Jesus and being refilled with the Holy Ghost and starting my life over again. And it's been a struggle. Don't get me wrong, because I was so deep into the world that I wasn't really ready to change my life so much. And then after my divorce happened, I started changing my life, but I went downwards. I went backwards more than forward, and I had some friends that pulled me out. And then I got offered a full-time position with the reserves over here in Washington. That was about 3 years ago, and I finally found a church out here during that time. And I've been with them for the last 2 out of 3 years of being out here, basically. And I've changed so much that I would say it's ridiculous, but it's a blessing, because it's only God that has been able to change me. You know, like, yeah, I could change myself, but I still need His help. Now, like, from what I was going through, from wanting to be like a gangbanger, a thug, a bully, a rebel child, and alcoholic, to just things that I shouldn't have been doing, but the Lord still brought me through it all. And the purpose of that all being is why I'm here today. And if this could even touch somebody today, I pray that it does, because we take life so much for granted. And we take the fact that people don't want to believe and trust in God and Jesus. They don't want to believe that there's something higher. But that something that's higher is what's given us the opportunity that we have today. And it's just like your Father here, as He asks for your attention, that's what He's asking for. He's asking for you to come back to Him. So no matter what you've been through, whatever you've gone through, whatever you're going through right now, let that be something to mold you. If you can find a Bible, just to start off with a Bible, to read any part of the Bible, read the beginning of the Bible, Genesis. Learn about how the world became. You'll see that There's something better and greater out there. It's just for us to listen and turn ourselves to that one thing and to accept that one opportunity that is given to us to change our lives. If you are willing to change your life and take that risk on changing your life for the better, follow me. I'll still post things through here. I'll still show sermons from church. Even whatever I preach. But just listen. That's all I'm asking for. And let that seed be planted in you. And if that seed decides to want to get nourished, then go ahead. Find the closest church to you. My recommendation is find a church that believes in the oneness. Because you can't divide that which isn't supposed to be divided. And if anything, just pray and pray and see what happens to come your way, because the Lord will hear your prayers and He will guide you to where it is that He needs you to be. Because even before any of us came into this world, before the world was even created, He already knew your name, my name, and everybody's name around here. Trust in that and believe in that. If you have any questions, you can always look up on Twitter, the @ symbol Marcus Waters 921. Hit me up on Twitter. If you want to find me on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Marcus Waters. I have 2 different accounts, but you can find me. It's okay. And if you want to talk more, then just feel free to shoot me a message on either thing, and we can continue to talk. But until the next time, God bless. And don't forget, whatever you're going through in life, that is your testament. And if you let the Lord change you, that will be your testimony to the world to see. Sorry, I've been having hiccups. To see what God can really do for anybody. God bless. Good night. I think